Hey guys, it's Veronica from teacherveronica.com. Welcome back to my channel. I am celebrating 1,000 days with VIPKid. Is that focused? 1,000 days. So fun. 1,000 days. Wow. I still remember day one. I was so excited when I got the email. I was just beside myself. I was so excited. And here we are, 1,000 days later. It has been quite a journey. I've grown. I've watched VIPKid grow. They just celebrated their 7th birthday a couple of weeks ago. So I wanted to give you just a quick rundown of things that I've learned in these last 1,000 days. But first, please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit that button below. It helps me out a great deal, and it's just a tiny thing for you to do. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. First thing I've learned, I am a morning person now. I didn't used to be, but I am totally a morning person now. So it is possible to go from being a night owl to being a morning person. I'm living proof. Another thing I learned is that it is completely possible for me to love somebody that is all the way across the world without having ever met them. It is possible. And right along those lines, kindness knows no borders, no language. Showing kindness, showing love to somebody speaks for itself. Another thing I learned that's kind of an ongoing topic in VIPKid is that there is an ebb and flow to bookings. Some seasons are good, some are bad. Some people do very well over the holidays, the Chinese holidays, and some get 0 bookings. There's just an ebb and flow, and there's no rhyme or reason. It just is what it is. Another thing I learned is it doesn't really matter how many followers you have. I don't have that many followers. No, don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. I have 238 followers, but I'm always fully booked. My number of students has drastically increased in these past few months because I've been teaching a lot more short notice trials due to the pay cut. But before then, it was pretty much the same kids week after week after week after week. So it is possible to be fully booked with small number of followers. A bazillion props are not necessary. Digital rewards changed my teaching life, for real. Once I moved to Google Slide rewards, it's never been the same. Game changer, especially while traveling. Much easier to just take a tablet with you than to have to take a bunch of different reward systems. Wechat is my friend. I can keep in contact with my favorite regulars. I don't Wechat with everybody, just with a very select few. I've learned to set many alarms, multiple alarms. I will not teach level 1. Never. I won't teach level 1. I just don't have that kind of energy. I learned that I like teaching the advanced students. I used to teach, when I first started, just like everybody else, levels 2 and 3, but mostly level 2. I have graduated all of my level 2s, and they're now in levels 4, 5, 6, and I'm much happier. And I'm not expending as much energy as I used to with all my level 2s. Another thing I learned is VIPKid is one of many different platforms. It's important not to have all your eggs in one basket. I learned that I can yell at my kids while still smiling at the camera. Watch. Quiet! Did you see that? I'm like a ventriloquist. Stop that! Yeah, I do that a lot. Which brings me to the next thing I learned. The mute button is my friend. I am so glad we have a mute button in class. Another thing that I learned that I struggled with in the beginning is that lighting, good lighting, can be so simple. All I have is an 18-inch ring light. In the beginning, when I first started teaching, I had lamps like everywhere pointing at me in different directions, different kinds of light. A few months later, I ordered an 18-inch ring light, and my classroom has been forever changed. And it's portable, so I take it with me when I travel. One light. That is all that's going on here. I learned that a high five can cover an emergency yawn. And the mute button. Did you see how I did that? Of course, props will also work. Night mode and beauty filters are my friends. Another thing I learned is to resolve issues on your own whenever possible. The firemen are busy, and if you sit there and wait for them to come, you probably won't get through your lesson. Sometimes I ask for help from the firemen when I absolutely have done everything I can, and it's the end of class and they still haven't come. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. I have noticed that firemen come quicker when I'm teaching a trial than in the regular classroom. Another thing I learned is that students come and go. They do. And my heart always hurts when they go, especially when they're a long-time regular. But it happens and life goes on. There's Wechat. I still have some of my favorite regular students who are no longer taking VIPKid classes, but we talk through Wechat and we have video calls. They have like a little group chat going. They were friends before VIPKid and they referred each other to me, and we are able to have video chats weekly. It's really sweet. The company changes as it grows. Some changes are exciting, some changes are not so exciting, like this new pay scale. Another thing I learned is that it is absolutely possible to do feedback in between classes. I use Feedback Panda. I'm not saying you have to, but it has been a game changer for me. I started using Feedback Panda about 1 or 2 months in, and I've never looked back. I renew yearly. I pay the yearly fee so that it's cheaper, and it's very affordable to me. It costs about one class. If you pay yearly, it costs about one class per month. Completely worth it. Completely worth it. It makes my life so much easier, and in those 3 to 5 minutes that I have between classes, I'm able to make adjustments and submit my feedback. That way, when I'm done, I was a full-time 10 to 14 back-to-backs in a row. When you're done with a set like that, you don't want to sit there and type feedback. So I quickly learned to do my feedback in between classes. And it's possible, you guys. It's totally possible. If you're writing novels, cut it down. Remember, it's your time. My 6th contract jacket, I convert more trials when I wear this. I'm not sure if that's psychological. Who knows? I learned that it's okay to say no. When you don't really click with a student or you don't enjoy teaching them, it is okay to not accept a priority request. It's fine. When you truly enjoy what you're doing, it shows. I value certain freedoms that we enjoy as Americans that other countries don't have. Sometimes a connection with a student is more important than the content that you're teaching. If you can connect with that student, you can customize their extensions, you can earn a regular for life. Like, I have students that I have converted and they stayed with me through their entire VIPKid career until they graduated out or stopped taking lessons. Make that connection. It's so important. Learn the child as much as the lesson. With my long-standing regulars, our lessons always start off continuing the previous conversation we had. It's kind of fluid. When you learn them and you truly take an interest in them, number 1, it shows and it helps you build that connection. And number 2, it helps to build that rapport. So yes, it's important to study the lesson and know the lesson that you're teaching, but it's also important to know your child. It is okay to cancel if you need to. That is why we have 6 cancellations per contract. It's okay to take a vacation if you want to. Your students will be there when you get back. I promise. I struggled with this in the beginning, but it is okay. Another thing I learned, and this is kind of common sense to me, but be courteous and kind when you're sending tickets. You never know who else is going to be reading those tickets. Plus the fact that it's common human decency. It's a human on the other end of that ticket. And chances are that that human is not directly responsible for the issue that you're having. So be kind and courteous. When I served in the PAC, which is now called TAC, the Teacher Advisory Council, if you meet all the qualifications that they're looking for, before they accept you, they will check your ticket history and be sure that you weren't mean or ugly to anybody when submitting tickets. So, you never know who's going to be reading. Teach what is comfortable to you. If you can comfortably teach 12 back-to-backs, do it. If you're more comfortable about 3 to 4 back-to-backs, do that. If you need a break in between every few classes, do that. Teach what is comfortable for you. Don't sacrifice life for classes. You know, I always wanted to teach in the beginning as many as I could. I just wanted to add more. Then I realized I was falling asleep during the day. When my kids wanted to play, I was too tired. I was sacrificing life for classes. Don't do that. Don't make that mistake. When in doubt, screenshot everything. Even if you're not in doubt, screenshot it. You screenshot everything. I love teaching Starlight Trials. I love them. They are 20 minutes instead of 25 and you still get the same pay. Yay! I learned that students are going to be attracted to you for who you are, what they see in your intro video. So don't try to copy anybody else. Don't think you have to be super energetic. If you're more of a low-key or a serious teacher, that is okay. The students that gravitate toward that or that like that will find their way to you. So just be you. A hotspot is useless where I live. So be sure if you do have a hotspot or rely on one that it actually works. I live in the middle of the woods. So a hotspot does not work well here. A backup battery source is a must. So that is what keeps my internet going whenever we've had power outages, is my backup battery. It will power my light, my internet router, and my computer. Now, as soon as my power goes out, I try to switch over to my laptop or my iPad as quickly as possible. So I finish that class that I'm teaching and I switch, because otherwise the computer, the PC, will drain my backup battery much quicker. I learned a secondary device is a must. Have an iPad handy, a laptop, something other than what you're currently teaching on. The other day, for no apparent reason at all, my desktop went black. Shut off, lost power completely. I keep my iPad right under my desk, picked it up. I only had 2 minutes left of class. I would have gotten an IT had I not finished that class. Was able to log into the classroom within about 30 seconds, and I was able to finish my lesson. That was great. An external camera can help resolve lighting issues. If you have a good external camera, doesn't have to be super expensive. Mine was about $50 or $60. I have a link for it below if you're interested. If you've got poor lighting, an external camera could be a cheaper solution. Another thing I learned is that I can use the bathroom, wash my hands properly, run back to my seat, and have a smile on my face by 00 in less than 2 minutes. I'm sure many of you can relate. Another thing I learned, if you've got an issue, tag Eric. No, I'm just kidding. Don't tag Eric. For the record, I've never tagged Eric. No, seriously. Last and probably most important thing I learned is to count my blessings. No matter how bad it is, it can always be worse. So this is not just a VIPKid lesson, but a life lesson in general. Count your blessings, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what things you've learned on your VIPKid journey. I'm sure I've learned many more, but there's only so much time in a video. So if you watched till the end, thank you. Happy teaching. Bye.